Hello dear students and welcome again to Sri Jendra Rank Zone classes. I am Amit Ajmani and in today's session we'll be continuing up our chapter vocabulary. Now in this vocabulary we have already done a lot many things. In the previous sessions we tried to relate the prefixes, suffixes and the roots of the words. Today we'll be discussing about phrasal verbs. What exactly are phrasal verbs and how exactly we use them. So first of all, let us try to relate and know what are phrasal verbs. A phrasal verb is a group of words that functions as a verb. So this is not a single word. It's a group of words. It's a phrase which is acting as a verb. It consists of a verb that is combined with a preposition or adverb or both. Prepositions, we already know these are the words which show the relationship of one body, one object to another, one thing to another. Like in, on, at, for, from, behind, below. These are all prepositions. Adverbs are the words that add some meaning to the verbs, that add some more meaning. Fine. For example, he is running. So running is a verb. It's an action. But how he is running, that is being described by an adverb. He is running fastly, he is running slowly, he is running like that, he is running like that. Whatever is describing that running is an adverb. Right? Now the important thing is this phrasal verb consists of a verb, but when it is combined with any particular another word with like preposition or adverbs or both, then the meaning of the phrasal verb becomes different from the meaning of its separate parts. We have made a group of words. All those group of words have different separate meanings, but when they are combined together, now the meaning of this whole phrase is altogether different from the meaning of its separate parts. And the particle, that is the addition, that is the preposition or adverb that has been added, that can change the meaning of the verb completely. For example, pass. Now this pass has different meanings. One pass is getting passed in the examination. One pass is giving a pass in the game of football or hockey, right? But when we add this word away with it, now pass away has an altogether different meaning. It means die. Mr. X passed away yesterday. So he didn't get pass in his examination of life. He didn't get pass from one house to another. He just passed away means he died. But the same word pass when used with out. So now when we use pass out, pass we have already discussed, out is the external thing. But when we use pass out together, it has an altogether different meaning, that is to lose consciousness. I passed out while giving my exam. I passed out while playing. I passed out while driving. That means I lost consciousness. And when we use up with pass and use it in the form of pass up, it means to decline an opportunity. To pass up, that means I'm just passing up this opportunity. I'm not accepting it. So you see, the same word pass has a different meaning. When used in the sense of pass away, it becomes different. In the sense of pass out, it becomes yet different, and pass up altogether different. So this is what phrasal verbs are. Now we need to learn these phrasal verbs because most of these phrasal verbs, they are idiomatic. They are used as idioms. So as such, just by reading them, you will not be able to analyze or deduce their actual meaning. So you need to learn, you need to relate their application, only then you will be able to just understand them. But once you do it, you will have these many advantages. What? These phrasal verbs, because they are used like idioms, so they help in effective communication with other people, and they change the language, make it more friendly, make it easy to understand, make it easy flowing. And it also helps to easily substitute a string of long words with a single phrasal verb. Fine. So it becomes very easy while we are having the conversation with anyone to use this single phrasal verb in order to convey what we want to say. So it makes the conversation look natural and fluent. These all are very, very, very important parts of our normal day-to-day conversation. And if we learn all these, that is what actually builds up our vocabulary. So let us try to relate a few phrasal verbs. There are so many, right? And just like we saw in the case of past, similarly, when we use different words with the same verb, they convey a different meaning. For example, let us try to relate the phrasal verb with this verb bring. When we use it in the form of bring about, it means cause it to happen. This action will bring about war among the two countries. That is causing it to happen a war. Bring someone round means make him conscious again. The doctor brought him around, made him conscious again. Bring up means to raise a child or to cause something to be considered or vomit. So many meanings depending upon the context where we are using up this bring up word. The bringing up is raising of a child, right? And he just brought up when he was traveling in the mountain region. That means he just vomited. Okay. Bring down means cause to be lower. Bring down. He brought down the cost by adding one this particular component. So he caused it to be lower. Bring off means cause to be successful or to succeed in an attempt. He will definitely bring off in his examination. He will succeed in his attempt. Bring on. Bring on means lead to or help to produce. Bring out. Cause to appear clearly or publish. He wants to bring out his own novel. Fine. Bring in is to introduce. So you see, there are so many ways in which we can simply use this verb bring along with these prepositions to make a phrasal verb and with different meanings. Okay. Next, let us see the same thing with put. Now, put is just to put down something, but when used in the form of a phrasal verb, let us see how many meanings it has. Put away. Put away means to place an object in its proper location. Put back is to return an object to the location where it originally came from. Put down is to note down on a piece of paper. Or put down also means to criticize and humiliate someone. Put forth or put forward means to offer an idea, to offer a plan or a proposal for consideration. He put forth the new academic curriculum. He put forth the new design of the building. Put off means to delay doing something. Procrastinate, being lazy about something. We are delaying, we are putting off the things till tomorrow. Or to make a bad impression, make somebody repulsed or disgusted. Put on, this is quite normal day-to-day word. to start wearing or start using something. Put out, again we use it quite a lot to extinguish a fire, put out the fire, or to publish or inconvenience to someone, that is also put out. So with put, we again have so many uses along with another some prepositions or adverbs. Put through, to transfer or connect somebody on the telephone, that is put through. Put me through to Mr. Ramesh, that means transfer or connect my call on the telephone with Mr. Ramesh. Put someone up means to give somebody a place to stay at your home or to encourage or persuade the person to do something. I tried to put him up for achieving his goal. Or put up with. Put up with means to tolerate, to accept an annoying situation or behavior. He is trying to put up with his seniors. He is trying hard to put up with his unfavorable circumstances. He is tolerating it. He is accepting it. Fine. So these are all the phrasal verbs with put. Now let us try to understand with take. Lot many again. Take after means to resemble somebody else, usually a family member. Take apart means to disassemble something. He took the whole toy apart. So taking apart means to disassemble something. Take back is to admit wrongdoing. If we have done something wrong, we just say, I take back my words. I am admitting that I have just said wrong words. Take someone in is to allow someone to stay in your house. Take something in is to observe something. So someone and something, depending upon if you are taking in Ram or you are taking the any particular scenario, any particular situation which you are observing. That is to take something in. Take off, very common word, to leave the ground and fly, whether it is for the airplanes or for the birds or for anything which is flying. To leave the ground and fly is taking off. Or to become popular or successful in a particular field. He just took off in his coaching, he just took off in his job. That means now he has become quite successful. Or to leave a place quickly, colloquial, just took off to his heels. That means just left very fast. Take over is to take control of something. From now, I will take over this project. That means I'll take control of something. Take up means to begin a sport, hobby, or a challenge. He has taken up his challenge. So, to accept some challenge. Take someone on, that means you are hiring or employing somebody, or take someone on also means fight or compete against somebody. But if it is take someone out, that means you are going with somebody outside to a restaurant or a movie or whatever, and you are paying for their food or tickets. You are taking up their expenses. Take something out means to remove something from a place. Clear? So these are lot many phrasal verbs used with the word take. Let us consider next, that is phrasal verbs with look. Look after, that is to take care of. He is going to look after him. Who is going to look after Ram when you are gone? Right? Look into the matter is to investigate or to examine or to find out more about something in order to improve the situation. Kindly look into the matter. We write in our applications, no? So many times to the editor or to the concerned authorities, we have always ended like, we request you to kindly look into the matter and do the needful. In the schools also, if you are writing any application to the principal, then also you end it like, please look into the matter. Okay. Now, look out, that is to be careful. Look out for any bullets. Look out for any unfavorable event. Look out for the speeding trucks on the road. That means be careful with them. Or to avoid imminent danger, the danger which is certain, then you are trying to avoid it. Look for is you are searching for something or someone. He spent the whole day looking for his brother. So that is he was trying to search his brother. Look through something is to examine something, and that is usually quickly. He just looked through the book. He went quickly through the book. Just try to see what exactly was there in the book. Look up is to search for information, normally in a book, or nowadays of course in the internet also. You look up for the vocabulary words, you look up for the various idioms, you look up for different songs, you look up for anything on the internet, you are looking up. Okay. Look up to, now look up to is to respect or admire someone. See, one is look up, and just we have added to, and it becomes a different word and meaning altogether. Look up to is to respect or admire someone. I look up to my elder brother whenever I am in problem. So I admire him and I just look up to him for something as a motivation or as a encouragement. Look away is to turn your eyes away from someone or something that you were looking at. So looked away. He just looked away from me. He just looked away from any particular person or any particular object that we were normally looking at, but now we are removing our eyes from it. So that means look away. So these are a few phrasal verbs with the word look. Fine. Now, one thing quite importantly, when we are taking up these topics again and again, I need to relate, I need to remind you people that do not expect that if you are going to read all these phrasal verbs, or for that matter anything as far as vocabulary is concerned, enrichment, honing, improvement is concerned, do not expect that you will read it once and twice and you will be able to remember them. No, it is not going to happen. So, what is the way of doing it? What I advise my students is we have studied a few phrasal verbs with different words. For example, with bring. So you just devote one day, because I'm not asking you people to study English for 5 hours, 6 hours daily. No, 15 minutes for a particular topic, more than sufficient. Another 15 minutes, another topic. Another 15 minutes, third topic. Another 15 minutes, fourth topic. You are taking 4 topics per day. 1 hour maximum daily is more than sufficient if you are doing it sincerely and properly. Just not for namesake. If you are doing it on your own accord, willingly, then 1 hour per day is much sufficient as far as English as a subject is concerned. But that is to be done consistently, not for 2, 3, 4 days. So what you are going to do is just try to relate first of all these phrasal words related to bring only. Don't read the rest of the part. Don't take the next topic. Just try to relate this bring only and the meanings. Try to read it, understand it 2, 3, 4 times, and then trying to memorize it. And try to use these phrasal verbs making sentences of your own, and that too verbally. You don't have to write anything. There is no point just taking out the register and trying to write down all the sentences. No, you don't have that much time, right? If you are just preparing for your exam, you need to just read it 3, 4 times, try to remember it. If you also practically want to increase your vocabulary, make sentences verbally with each phrasal verb. Try to make sentences. Then once you are through and thorough with bring, come to the next phrasal verb using the word put. Again, do the same thing. Today we have just to do these phrasal verbs with put. That is it. Nothing else. Tomorrow we'll again come back. Now we'll start up with take. Now we have done with bring, we have done with put, we have done with take. On the fourth day, I'm not going to take anything new. I will revise these three only, because now 3 days have passed. So obviously the very first one that we did, bring, now we tend to forget it. So just taking a hypothetical example, on Monday you did all the words with bring, on Tuesday with put, on Wednesday you took it with take, and on Thursday, now don't take up any new word. Just revise the previous three so that they get embedded in your memory. Then on Friday, start up with the fifth. That is look. Got it? So this is how you should be doing it. And you will see that you are able to recall, you are able to memorize much better, and for a longer time you are able to retain these words in your vocabulary. Now these words we have just considered when we are using a particular verb, but there are so many another phrasal verbs, so many. Let us see one by one. Now these are altogether different. Initially we just do it all with bring, then all with put, then all with take, then all with look. But here they are all different. So for doing these, take 10 per day. Only 10 per day. But the condition is you are reading 10 once, twice, and then try to make 2 sentences verbally with each of these phrasal verbs, because now you know the meanings. Correct? Let us see. First is bear with someone. Bear with someone is be patient with someone. I am bearing up all my seniors. I am bearing up with my colleagues. Okay? Be up to something means to be involved in something strange or a prank. Right? So he is up to something. That means he is trying to do something strange, something mischievous. That is being up to something. To change hands is to go from one person to another. Maximum times we use this word for money. They had a business deal and money changed hands. That means money went from one person to another. To change color is to turn pale, usually when you are caught or when you are guilty. His color changed. Right? He changed his color the moment I showed him the pen. So he was guilty of something. He was caught red-handedly. That is why he changed his color. Idiomatic use. To cut short is to sum it all. Don't make it too lengthy. Cut it short means tell me the conclusion just. Don't tell me the whole story. I don't want to listen to it. To cut short, this is the conclusion. To do away with something, that means to discard something, to leave something. Fine. So he is now away with his memories. So he has discarded his memories. To be all ears means you are ready to listen. Please tell me all the details. I am all ears means I am ready to listen. To be all eyes means you are ready to watch. Just show me what you have got. I am all eyes means I am ready to watch. To fight tooth and nail means to fight every bit. We have seen in sports mainly these particular phrasal verbs used so many times. So fighting tooth and nail is fighting every bit of it. Fall apart means break into pieces. The toy has fallen apart. The scenery has fallen apart. The statue has fallen apart means it has broken down into pieces. Fall back on something means you are relying on something during some emergency situation. So I am falling back on Ram for this surgery. Get ahead means to move ahead, to get success. Get along is compatibility, tuning. He is getting along very nicely with his new partner. He is quite compatible with his new partner. To hold good means to be true or valid. This formula holds good in all the equations. This equation holds good in all circumstances. This rule holds good whenever you are in doubt. That means this rule is true. This is valid. Next is hang on. Hang on is wait for some time. Hang on, I'm just coming. I'll be just giving it to you in just 2 minutes. Hang on. Please hang on while I'll be back. That means just wait for some time. Hang together means get along. When two people are going along with each other, that is hanging together. Knock into someone. That means to meet someone by chance. I was going to the market. I just knocked with my old friend. So I just met him by chance. In the long run, that means in the long term. If you are doing all these vocabulary topics as per what I am advising you, in the long run, you will have a very good vocabulary. So in the long term, in the long run, you will have a good vocabulary. My advice along with the example, two purposes solved with one single sentence, right? Next is to leave for good. That means leave forever. You left something for something better. So now you have left it forever. To mean business means to be serious in what you are saying. You are not kidding around, you are not playing fool, you are very serious. So whenever somebody is talking, for example, if one person is saying to another person that I will be spending 20 lakh rupees in order to buy this land, and the second person is not willing to believe, the first person will say, I am not joking, I mean business, means I am serious in what I am saying. Correct? Off and on means occasionally. I visit Mumbai off and on. I go to my in-laws house off and on. Okay, occasionally. Play around is be irresponsible or to fiddle with something. He is just playing around. That means he's just fiddling with something. He's just playing around in the park means he is irresponsible. He is not taking his responsibility. He is not working for a particular thing. Subject in hand means subject of discussion. At the moment we are discussing our subject in hand, that is our vocabulary. So this is the subject of discussion. Up to date means aware of current happenings. That is up to date. Up to date or updated means one or the same thing. Okay. Stopover means a halt, a stoppage in a particular journey. We went to Kullu Manali and we had a stopover in Jalandhar. We went to any particular place, for example, Delhi or Mumbai or Hyderabad or Chennai, and we had a stopover. That means we halted our journey, we stayed there in between for some time. Correct? Bank on means depend on something. I am banking upon you for my problems. I am banking on you for my project. That means I am depending on you. Get away means get away with something is escaping, taking a break. He just got away with his fault. That means he escaped. He was not punished. He was not caught. Next is watch out means to be aware or be cautious. Look out, watch out. These are used in the same sense. Watch out for your competitors. Watch out for the next program. Be aware or be cautious. Next is turn down. You are refusing something. I turned down his offer. I turned down his request. That means I refused. Next is wear out means torn, tired, unstable. Wear out also means that something is getting degraded. When we are talking about machinery or anything like that, furniture, etc., then we say that they are wearing out. That means they are getting degraded, damaged. Wear out. If used with us, then we say it is getting tired. I am extremely worn out today. That means I'm extremely tired. I'm exhausted. So these are a few phrasal verbs. And when I say these are a few phrasal verbs, I really mean it that these are a few. There are so many because phrasal verbs, what are these? These are the verbs along with some adjective or preposition or adverbs. Normally preposition and adverbs. And we know that so many verbs are there. Hundreds and thousands of verbs are there. So obviously with each of the verb we can put some particular word along with it to carry out a different connotation or a different meaning. So these are just a few in order to have a basic idea of what phrasal verbs are, and from now onwards we need to be observant wherever we are reading, anywhere, any place, anything, any source. Wherever we find a verb, action word, and along with that we see any adverb or we see any particular preposition and it is conveying a different meaning, we should be able to relate, recall, and memorize that particular usage. Clear? So we have read and studied lot many phrasal verbs. Of course, it will take some time for you people to grasp it, to digest all these, to get to be acquainted with these. But based on just your this lecture study and your till date vocabulary, let us try to do one or two exercises. They are quite simple actually. Let us see the first question. Each sentence given below contains an incomplete phrasal verb. We have to complete the expression by supplying a suitable preposition or adverb particle from the options that are given to us in the bracket. So we are already given the verb, we are already given the preposition or the adverb particle, the option. We have to select which option seems the best. Let us try to relate one by one. The first sentence says, all Maria's relatives are of the opinion that she takes dash her grandmother. That she takes after, she takes off, she takes in her grandmother. Now here the word that will be coming along with takes is after. To take after is to look after, to have control, to take the responsibility, being the in charge of her grandmother. So after is our correct word. Next sentence. The music is too loud. Could you turn dash the volume please? Turn back, turn up, turn down. We want the volume to be turned down. So would you turn down the volume please? This will be the word we'll be using here. Turn down. Third. Quick. Get dash the bus or you will have to walk home. Quick, get on the bus, not get under the bus. Obviously, we don't want to get under the moving bus. Okay, so get on the bus or you will have to walk home. Next sentence is, okay, just a second. Let me bring the screen down. Fourth sentence. We will, just a second, guys. We will take this issue dash when we meet next week. We will take this issue up or on or over. Now here the correct word use will be up. We will take this issue up when we meet next week. Taking an issue up means then we will discuss about this particular issue. Fifth question says, the sentence says, I am afraid that we have run dash of juice. Will you drink coffee? We have run dash of juice. Will you drink coffee means juice is not available. So we have run out of juice. We have been done. We have been finished with juice. So we cannot offer you juice. That is why he's offering, will you drink coffee? So it is running out of something means you have just finished with something. I'm running out of resources, I'm running out of water, I'm running out of food means the food is about to finish. Okay. So these are a few prepositions that we used with the verbs in order to make the meaningful sentences. Similarly, in the next, let us try to complete this following sentences. The question is, complete the following sentences by filling in the blanks with suitable phrasal verbs. Now, in this case, you are not given any verb. In the above question, it was a bit simple that the main verb was given to us. We had to just put up with the preposition or the adverbial addition. But here we have to actually supply the whole word, the verb, the phrasal verb. So now it will be interesting to see. But still, you will be able to do them with practice. Not an issue. Let us see. I thought the conference was going to be boring. So it was the initial thought that the person thought the conference was going to be boring, but it dashed to be quite useful. I am using here, but it turned out to be. Turned out means that it was converted to be. It turned out to be. When we explored, when we went through it, we saw a different thing that we initially expected. Next, he dashed up the kitchen and made some tea. He went into the kitchen, came into the kitchen. You can use anything. He came into the kitchen. Yeah, he went into the kitchen. You can use both of these. Both are correct. Fine. Next, the police have been looking for him ever since he dashed out of the prison. Now, whenever a person is just coming out of the prison without the consent, or if a person is going into somebody's house without the permission, we normally use the word break in and break out. Fine. So we'll be using the past tense of it. The police have been looking for him ever since he broke out of the prison. Okay. So he broke out of the prison. Next, we left. We left an hour earlier, but we drove so fast that we were able to dash with him. We left an hour earlier, but we drove so fast that we were able to catch up with him. He was already going, and we drove so fast that we were able to catch up with him. The next sentence says, the president asked the members of the cabinet to dash their letters of resignation. The president asked the members of the cabinet to give in their letters of resignation, or to hand in their letters of resignation. Now, one thing we need to remember in this particular sentence is, we could have used to deposit, to submit, right? But we need to relate what the question is saying. If we would have used to submit their resignation, this is just a normal verb, but we need to fill in phrasal verbs. So we need to use such a word with which we can use some adjective, adverb, or preposition. Again, 99% times it is preposition or adverbs. So we are going to use a phrase rather than a single word. In the above examples also, we could have used a single verb, but that is not we are asked to do. So that is why we have to make sure that we read the question properly and thoroughly first, and then we need to fill in the blanks. So these are a few sentences just in order for making you to practice, to understand what type of questions you will be facing in the examination. That is to help you for your further preparation. This is how you need to prepare. Clear? So at the end of every session, the first question is, or the first sentence is, I hope you must have understood everything. Second thing, you need to go through these again and again. Already I have told you how to do it. Fine. And try to implement, try to practice consistently for a few weeks. Then the result will come. It is just like nurturing a plant. You did all the effort before putting the seed into the soil. No, the farmer has to do so many things. The preparation of the soil is very important. The fields are prepared first. The soil is loosened. The nutrients are being added according to the soil. And very importantly, the right season, the right time. That is what they need to relate before sowing the seed. So it is just not a plant. It is not even sowing the seed. Before that also so much of effort is required. And after sowing the seed, what do we think? We sow the seed on Sunday and on Tuesday we'll see a mango plant, coconut tree. No, it takes years. Fortunately, in your case, you don't require years of doing it, just a few weeks, consistent effort, watering daily. You have to feed your brain with the nutrients, with water, with all the essential things which will make it to improve, to grow further. And then after few weeks, you will see the fruit of your efforts. We need to keep patience. Clear to all? So just ending up the session here. It was really nice. This session was good. I enjoyed. I hope you too have enjoyed. And the next session will continue further with some other new topic. Till then, enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Be healthy, be safe, be sound, and study well. Thank you so much. We'll meet pretty soon in the next session. Take care, everyone.